of using the lathe tool, and we've been doing some work on a piece of wood, a little bit smaller than that, turning into a piece of workable wood and turning into a ball. So last time we left as I finished the ball, the insert of the box and the lid. And remember last time that I told you that you have to think ahead of what your different stages are going to be. I basically didn't really think things through enough, because I'm left with a bit of a problem. Though I'm happy with how the insert of the lid turns out, maybe like shave a little bit off to make it fit better. It's quite tight at the moment, that's no big problem, because I still have this piece here to turn into the chuck. I'm not really happy with the top of the lid. It just doesn't look very organic. I wouldn't like to finish my lid like this. I want to have it like a little bit smoother, a little bit rounder, maybe just like a little indentation here that you can use to pick it up, or just make this a little bit rounder. But that would mean sacrificing this bit here, right? Also, if I want to use it on the lathe, I have nothing to grip here, right? So there is, what I could use is this here, right? But you see it's got a sharp point where it grabs into the wood, you know, it goes in here and it goes quite deep, and I don't think I have enough material left, and I would leave a nasty tool mark inside of here. So you have to start using your brain then. So the challenge is to get the lid mounted like this, so I can finish this side of the lid. Now, we have used this chuck here to clamp in on a protruding piece, but you can also use the chuck to clamp in a hollow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn a hollow in here so I can actually reverse it, put it into the chuck, and then finish off the top of the lid. So let's start doing that. Just mount it in. You noticed I cleaned up a bit because it was getting really messy and was losing tools. So, and I like to start off every day with a clean workbench. That's maybe just me being anal, but it just makes everything more easy to work, less clutter. And notice again I'm using both holes of the chuck to center the piece in. There are two holes there, so I'm going to use them, right? So that's nice, fit and secure, right? Just going to bring my tool into place. I'm going to be using the cutting tool. So I will be wanting to have an indentation here that the chuck can grab. So what I'll do is make it a little bit smaller than the piece here. So let's say 4.5 should be able to grab that. I should have measured it before I put it in. So, like I said, never cut corners. If you forgot something, just go back to start. So I'm just going to see what the minimum size of my indentation should be before I make a hole there. So let's do that. That's the minimum size. And it's slightly tapered, so it's actually 51. Okay, so let's do that. That's the minimum size. So if I say 55, would that do the trick? Because that will give me some room for error. Yeah, no problem. It can do 55. Alright. You know, and it is when you just start using a lathe, there's a lot of things you might not know, and you might have watched every video on YouTube. But I'm one of those people that learn by doing and realizing that I often just stop and go back to where I started just to make sure that whatever I'm going to do is going to be effective. Alright, so that's nicely tucked in. Okay, we're going to put the tool rest back into place. If it lets me, there, nice and tight, not too tight. Okay, there we go. Right. It's a warm day today, so I got my clean towel just to wipe up the sweat once in a while. Because nothing is as irritating as if you're in the middle of something and the sweat starts rolling down your face. Clean my safety glasses. Right. But before I begin, I'm just going to have a quick look at my cutting tool. Make sure it's got a nice sharp edge on it. Put everything aside. Okay, nothing in the way. Dust cap on. Now just getting an idea of where my indentation should be. Something around there. Just going to give it a little tool mark. Actually what I do is, if I'm going for 55 millimeters, I'm going to set this to 27.5. It's easy to pick out the center here. So there we go. Should go here. Just going to create a mark. I'm turning it into a spiral. Okay. I can fix that. I'm going to put the power on. I've got a master switch always there if I'm working on the machine. Besides putting it into neutral, I like to use the master switch as well. So just going to put that mark on. Okay, I'm going to put it on the lowest speed. Okay, check. That should be my mark. Always measure twice. Okay, yep, that should do it. Okay. Give it a little bit more speed. Now you notice I have some shudder while I'm getting towards the inner part, and that's probably because I'm hitting a core or something. Let's have a look. Yeah, right here. Right. When that happens, just apply gentle pressure. Right. Don't try to force it, especially when you're going into the center. The more you go into the center, the more your speed actually decreases. So I might give it just a little bit speed to do that last bit. I'm now just going to make a stop to see what it's actually looking like. Okay, where's my little brush? Right, this feels quite rough, so I want to smooth this out a little bit more. I'm going to be using this tool just to turn a little bit out, but staying clear of the edge here. Otherwise I'm going to grab on the side of the tool and I'm going to have a big bite mark, so we don't want to do that in this stage. Okay. As I'm going along, I realize my guard is a little bit close and far off, so I want to have a little bit more control on the movement on the tool. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, that looks pretty decent.